about phishing, right? In general, malspam and phishing are in similar areas. We talk about basic controls like having, first of all, avoid having too much data or having too much data lying around so that people do not get a pretext or attackers do not get the right kind of pretext for sending you such kind of mails. Or even have employee awareness so they do not click on such malspam, or having technical controls against phishing like, SPF, DKIM, DMARC that we've been listening to, I think, for quite some time. But when it comes to healthcare industry and what you have seen works there, what do you think, apart from these basic controls, what are the steps that an organization or security teams can take when they're dealing with particularly medical devices or healthcare devices?
One thing would be is see, every malspam or every threat that's going to target any of our devices is technically 90% is an exploit. It could be an outdated exploit, or once the attacker is in, he'll probably try to do a backdoor or port is open of sorts. Now, hardening is something basic that everybody has to do. Some of the industries don't do it, especially from other organizations, right? Having unwanted, if you see a lot of devices that are there in the market, there will be a lot of backdoors that will be there for the developers to go in to troubleshoot it. That needs to be well thought out, well sorted out. The main thing I see is employee awareness. I mean, education is the most important. You can buy $1 trillion firewall, or you can have it. You can have an NGFW, which is backed by a PFSense, which is backed by a big spanking set of big Yara rules and everything. But end of the day, you have an employee. Let's take a hospital example, right? Please check my all it takes a receptionist to click on something. Very simple. Now, if you go to most of the hospitals in India, the receptionist has an absolute access to everything. Employee awareness is the key here, and phishing tests everybody does today, okay, but you should educate your employees in a very gamified manner on latest threats. That's very, very important. And I feel gamification is the biggest solution to this. Nothing more, nothing less. You cannot ask an organization to, I mean, see, to be very honest, I think you and I dread and I hate those sometimes these trainings, right? You have to take that 45-minute training to understand what is phishing, right? But it makes it monotonous. Most of them skip it. Most of them find ways to get the pass certificate. It doesn't even the odds anyway. But when you spoke about this SPF, DKIM, DMARC, honestly, it works in detection of malspams only to an extent. So, see, some of those organizations will not have SPF checks in place. They would have it turned it off, right? Now, an SPF has to be mandated at some point of time. A DMARC has to be mandated at some point of time. But some of I cannot take names here, but some of the bigger organizations don't have it turned off. Now, if I write a YARA rule saying that if you look for SPF, let SPF be no, then I'm doomed. My false positive will hit the roof some point of time. Now, attackers are beyond this. Attacks are beyond this. You cannot rely on these things. I honestly always feel is gamification of employee awareness. That's the best thing that you can do to yourself. And you can take it to schools also. You can take it to colleges. You can take it to your employees. I think gone are those days where you say Ram works in a company. He's an IT administrator. He sits and works today. Now click those 4 choices. Should he delete the mail? Should he forward the mail? That doesn't work anymore. You will have to immerse the person. Cyber security. You'll be very honest. You work on a lot of exploit development, right? I mean, would you go and put a PPT on how to develop an exploit? You would rather believe in writing one and solving one.
Yeah.
That's how I always feel. Cyber security training, awareness has to be taken to the next level. You should immerse the audience in the experience. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, running the exploit for yourself, seeing it work, getting the high, and then getting the experience, I think that is unforgettable.
Yep.
But for these healthcare specific campaigns, right? Like I'm talking about the malspam campaigns. Through these education awareness initiatives that you're talking about, maybe we can also talk about the campaigns currently running for healthcare, because we are specifically talking about healthcare domains. I was just curious and just wanted to quickly know, are there also campaign information sharing that happens between healthcare providers, that there is such a campaign or malspam campaign going on for example,
Not
COVID or for any other
Nothing I know of.
pretext? Okay.
Usually people say don't click on the mails that you don't know. That's what I've seen. There is not an extensive campaign that runs saying, hey dude, you know what, this malspam variant is running across, please don't click on it. I
Okay.
think many of the companies, you should educate your employees. The only mistake that we make at times, right? We think that, hey, how will a HR guy understand what is TrickBot or what is OSNIF or what is? You should educate. It's your duty to simplify it and educate them.